All right, shalom. Baba, could you somebody come?
I'm right here. I'm just waiting for it to.
Okay, because it looked like it's.
Mine.
Shalom. Give us a second. Do a sound check.
1 2 1 2
1 2 1 2.
We're good.
Okay. You got it.
Hey, shalom.
Y'all figure it out.
We are the brothers of the Great Millstone, the branch here in Chicago. And first is Tazo.
He's ready.
And first and foremost, we want to give all praises, all honor, and glory to God.
Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakwadash.
Double honors into the apostles, double honors into the elder bishops. Salutations to all our fellow laborers doing this work in truth and sincerity, risking their lives and their freedom to do so now more so than ever. To the scattered around the four corners of the earth, that be like unto the speckled bird among the heathen nations, that look like the heathen nations.
Right.
And to the Akwaf that are listening and learning, to you we say shalom. We just gonna jump right into this thing, open forum. And first thing we're gonna talk about is we're gonna touch on that balloon, and then we're gonna go into these about these Atwater Israelites, and about that many be called but few be chosen.
Right.
These guys that woke up just a few years ago, or less in some accounts, 5 years back, and now they elders, guys like that. But as far as this balloon thing, I watched a video on TikTok where the girl showed the evidence, is the receipts that the balloon was actually in North Carolina and South Carolina. It was flying over its own property, its own land. So this particular balloon, they were surveilling their own land. What a lot of Americans don't realize and don't know is that China owns up a lot of land in America. And it's funny because we talked about that on the line years back. That's one of the signs that that America was over. When you have one of its now enemies that owns up property and land in you because I bet you this, America don't own a damn thing in China.
Oh, 100%.
I can promise you that. All right, America owns absolutely nothing in China. They're not going to have no land and all that stuff. One of the most famous buildings on the planet is the Sears. Well, it used to be called the Sears Tower. Then it got changed to the Willis Tower. Who knows what the name of it is? But most of the world knows it as the Sears Tower. The Sears Tower is one of the most famous buildings in the world. One of the tallest buildings in the world. All right, it's owned by China now. And China owns a lot of the downtown area of Chicago. So, how do you sell off parts of your kingdom? You in your kingdom,
and especially to foreigners who are sworn enemies.
So it turns out that this balloon was flying over its own property, surveilling its own property. That's the real story. So we got told it had nuclear EMP capability and all this other stuff. So what that looks like to me is that America is getting ready to be braced for an event to happen and it to get blamed on China. All right? Could somebody get Deuteronomy 33:29 real quick? Because I won't be shocked because Klaus Schwab, just at the WEF, one of your real world leaders, Klaus Schwab, who's got more authority in America than your presidents. All right. He said that there would be blackout events across America and, an EMP type attacks and things like that. He said it was going to happen. And all of a sudden this balloon shows up. And then all of a sudden they're saying that, well, it had EMP and nuclear EMP. What the fuck is a nuclear EMP? All right. But it had nuclear EMP ability. So what that's telling me is that, well, if this was just a surveillance balloon surveilling over its own property, but yet the media is spinning it as it's a military threat, then it's almost like there was a particular event where there were 3 buildings, right, that went down,
right,
and the buildings the day before they went down, the insurance policy was renewed the day before. They got a new insurance policy the day before they went down, and when 2 of those buildings, matter of fact, the 3rd building wasn't even mentioned, talked about for the most part.
Right.
All right.
Not to mention they've been about power outages throughout America for the last 12 months.
Huh?
So, like you said, it can be very much self-made attack, and it's going to be painted as justification to war with China to basically fulfill their agenda that they want to do, because they've been warning for about the last year that there could be outages. They've been warning you that just like in, I believe it was in New York, somewhere in California, that the outages are going to become more frequent like they were in Europe, which were the test runs that now, like you said, if they have evidence that there's a balloon with this kind of capability is a justification to say, see, look, we need to go after China because they're posing a threat.
And this is a playbook that this isn't anything new. All right. I mean, you can go back to the Tuscan event that happened that set off Vietnam, which was proven to be a false event that never happened. You know, how they don't tell the other side of the story of all the economic sanctions that they and headaches that they were given Japan, which made Japan, which made Japan retaliate against them in Pearl Harbor, and how they were aware of it, but they needed America to get into the war to fulfill an agenda, to fulfill. You know, there's lots of things that happen that's now, you can. It wasn't, the history wasn't given that way when it happened, but now it is.
That's right.
You know, it's now all of a sudden, they even given up the goods on the fact that the CIA had something to do with the Kennedy assassination, but they made sure that everybody that was involved was old, dead, and gone now,
Right.
because they put a seal on the investigation and evidence until a certain period of time. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think it was like 2 or 3 years ago where that date has been reached. So now people are able to go into evidences and things like that. So my whole thing is that everybody in the CIA that was connected to any of those people that are in the CIA then, there's anyone who, they can follow the lineage from officer to officer, all those people should be fired.
That's right.
All right, every one of them. If you can trace their job, their employment with the CIA back to any of these people that hired them, and et cetera, these people, to me, they should be compromised.
If there was a righteous and holy society, but this is an underhanded, wicked society
that would kill his own presidents, or have other officials that rule over their presidents and their constitution, like the WEF.
Right. Unelected.
Unelected officials, like your boy killed Gates from hell.
That's right.
Right. Well, somebody grab that scripture real quick.
I got it. Deuteronomy.
Baba Kashak.
Deuteronomy 32 and 29. It says, "Oh, that they."
No, 33, brother.
Deuteronomy 32 and 33.
33 and 29.
33 and 29.
The enemy shall be
Deuteronomy.
Gotcha.
The enemy should be found liars, basically.
All right.
Because they're gonna do something and blame it on somebody else, and that's that's
That's their MO. That's their MO.
Oliver North. He was the one that sold the nukes to Iran. Now he's on Fox News saying that Iran should have nukes.
Yeah.
What? Huh?
Boy,
Right.
bro. This is Deuteronomy 33 and 29. It says, "Happy art thou, O Israel, who is like unto thee, O people saved by the Lord, the shield of thy help, and who is the sword of thy excellency.
That's right.
And thine enemies shall be found liars unto thee, and thou shalt tread upon their high places."
Right, and then us bringing out this truth is treading upon their high places.
That's it.
It is shameful spewing on their glory. Go ahead, brother.
This is Proverbs 14 and 5. A faithful witness will not lie. We get out based on the scriptures that we've studied and the current news that we see. So, but it says, but a false witness will utter lies. That's their MO. That's what they do. They set it up like that. They run it like that. They do it like that. Okay. Going all the way back to the Edomites dressing up as the natives. Okay. This country was founded on false flag scenarios and the whole deal.
Yeah, you're right, because the whole Boston Tea Party is what set off the 1776, the Bicentennial War, with all the whatever the hell they call it. They had that. Remember the quarter from 1976. All right, it was the bicentennial.
Yeah, bicentennial. Yeah.
Right, celebration of 200 years of America, whatever. But right, the Revolutionary War, exactly.
Yeah, they want to
But
say
there was a false flag event, and
Right.
and unfortunately for our people, you know, the
We caught the
so-called
brunt.
natives
Caught the
suffered
brunt.
greatly. Was as a result of that, because their name was tarnished and they were blamed for that, and it just gave more excuses for white people to kill us, to scalp us, and take our land.
A lot of
You know?
bloodshed.
The road west was painted with blood, so it was a trail of blood that was celebrated today as the 49ers or the miners in California. That was the killing of a lot of natives, man.
And still in their land. And not only their land, but a lot of that was
The gold that was sitting on that land.
yeah. And there was a lot of burial grounds, a lot of just like Central Park in New York. We had whole communities. This is what Esau does. He displaces whole communities of Israelites, take all their precious resources, and then claim the shit for themselves as if they, came and established it themselves. And with the originals.
And it still hasn't changed because a few years here ago and whatnot, even the so-called reservations that they put them on, when they started doing all that fracking of oil and whatnot, they were starting to contaminate the water that was on the reservation.
Yeah.
So it ain't like they say, okay, well, this is yours and we honor that.
That's right.
Man, fuck
This
you.
is their legacy, and that's the reason why it's a shameful spewing on their glory. This make me think of Starved Rock over here in Illinois. Starved Rock, they actually literally it's called Starved Rock because they pushed the Israelite the Israelite, what they call them, the Gadites, so-called Native American Indians, over there, and they put them out to an area where they couldn't get out
It
away.
was like a Masada type.
Yes, exactly, and starve them to death. And to this day, it's a national park now. And you can come over there and go see the story. But guess how many people actually sit there and read the plaques? They go up there and appreciate nature and all this little shit. And not understand that right there where we're standing is where hundreds and hundreds of our own people were killed.
Oh, sound like Jerusalem, huh? Sound like Jerusalem and the
Yes. But this is the reason why the Most High is about to displace all these people, man. It's lies upon lies upon lies. And then at the bottom of it is so-called Negro, Latino, Native Americans, the scattered abroad, the speckled bird. And we have no idea of our heritage and the culture as a collective because of the narrative, man.
Yeah, this is Deuteronomy 19 and 14. Salakia, brother. Thou shalt not remove thy neighbor's landmark, which they of old time have set in thine inheritance, which thou shalt inherit in the land of Yahweh thy power giveth thee to possess it.
And here's where it's how many national parks are owned by China. To date, China has 244 national scenic and historic interest areas. The ranges and boundaries of these national parks are often extended beyond the official names you might suggest.
I got a precept. I got two precepts really to back you up. This is Deuteronomy 27:17. It goes directly with Elder Malcolm said. Curse he that removeth his neighbor's landmark, and all the people shall say amen. So Esau was a curse because what has he done? Just that. All right, look at Egypt. All right, you don't even have Egyptians there, but you have Arabs there. Look at what he did in South Africa. When you think of a South African, naturally you think of some Africans, some dark niggas, but no, you got these different actresses and actors that come here. That's what's her name, but she's South African. All right, Esau comes, take over your land, become the people, change up the originals, put in a whole other group of people.
Yes.
Right.
So he just do what he want to do, man.
Yeah.
All right, he changed what land is what. Like let's just use modern terms with the USSR. Russia on Ukraine because that's their land.
That's it.
But Esau changes that shit up. Like, no, this is now, your border is different now. What your land is no longer your land. When you think, like Mexico's supposed to run all the way up to Canada.
That's right.
But now, when you think of Mexico, this little ass piece of land that they got left over. Esau is cursed for that, man. He's the people of the Lord's curse. And that's...
Yeah, Colorado, Nevada, Mexico borders went all the way up to through Wyoming. Right? That was,
Los Angeles,
California, all those western states.
Can I just go back real quick?
And Nevada, those were all a part of Mexico.
That's right. This is
Slack. Before you get that, this is Isaiah 34:5. For my sword shall be bathed in heaven. Behold, it shall come down upon Idumea and upon the people of my curse to judgment. And part of the reason that the Lord's curse, well, for one, they're the wicked, but they're a violent man. They go and conquer lands and take control all by the sword, man. That's how Esau been getting down since Alexander, since they were able to get in power. Yeah, and 2 garments. Hey, but that's why Esau was their impersonation, man. He's conquered the world by the sword, man. He see it when he wanted, he take it, man.
That's right.
He's the curse.
That's
Yeah,
like
he
a 2 and
was
2.
straight Debo.
Yeah,
That's right.
Yeah, that's the right thing. That's why I said the kingdom is translated from one people to another. You know, that's why they can't keep this kingdom, man. They wicked. All this that they gotta possess is by the edge of the sword and or deceit.
Well, their mindset is that they said that let our strength be the law of justice.
Go ahead, read it, bro.
See?
See, why I'll get this one with Micah 2 and 2. And they covered
Start
fields.
at 1, brother.
Salaki, when we go jump up, I got you, brother. Micah 2 and 1. Woe to them that devise iniquity, sin, things that are going to fuck off, and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it because it's in the power of their hands.
And who's
Because
that?
they can.
Yeah.
All right, that's why America was able to dominate and now got everybody pissed off because as they're falling, they screw these people up because they set up military garrisons all over Europe via NATO. You know, and because when you're in the U.S. military, you can end up getting stationed in all anywhere.
Any place.
If you're in the army, you can end up in Europe. If you're in the Air Force, you can end up in Europe. If you're in the Marines, you can end up in some parts of Europe. Although usually the Marines, you go to Asia. But nevertheless, that's what it is, man. So they set up garrisons to ensure that their money, that American money, would stay the world reserve currency. And they did that by violence or the threat of violence.
For years.
All right. And that's why no one would challenge them. Right, when you got a whole military base with armed people with missiles and tanks and planes
And you so psychotic that you don't mind dropping atomic bombs on a motherfucker.
You
They
prove
like
that.
shit. No, they don't give a fuck. They'll fuck you up. Look what they did to Japan.
Exactly.
The nation's been reluctant, which is all through the power of the Lord. It says because in the power of their hand. Well, who put it there?
Exactly.
Job 9:24. That's why Revelation says who can make war with the beast. But that goes to the prophecy in Daniel about the 4th beast. All right, he couldn't be stopped. But that's because the Lord said you should build. All right, the Lord gave the command you was going to build, but there's another part to that. There's another piece of manifest destiny.
That's
You
right.
shall build, but I will throw down.
That's right.
Hey, in Romans 13, it says how that there is no power but of the Lord.
And if you look at the track record of Esau Edom, this is 1 Maccabees 11 and 3. Now, as Ptolemy entered into the cities, he set in every one of them a garrison of soldiers to keep it. This is his MO.
That's hard.
All right.
Boy, that one for,
1 Maccabees 11 and 3. All right, but going back to that Micah 2 and 2, and they covet fields. And then when they covet the field, damn, I want that. I like that. This got some lithium. Oh, damn, this one got cobalt.
Right.
Oh shit, that got gold.
Right.
They got diamond. And so what they do, they sit their military power, they send their military elite, and they set up a garrison, they set up an outpost, they set up a fort.
They say
Right.
they enlarge their border as hell.
Yes, sir.
You see?
Absolutely.
The-
And
they-
take them by violence and
That's it.
houses and take them away. So they oppress a man and his house, even a man in his heritage.
You know what, brother? You just made me think about it. Before I left the house, I was watching Centurion. And I remember when I first saw the movie, it was a part I missed that the girl that didn't have the tongue, the put it up on the screen, put her face on the screen. The movie Centurion. It's her name Olga something. Little pretty ass Edomite broad who the king's in love. She ain't pretty no. Her beauty faded fast. The wall is yeah.
It's undefeated for the nation.
Man,
The water fell on her.
because I get down with the White Castle, but you got to get them while you get them because typically they don't last long. Her name is. Let's put up the movie Centurion. Her name is Olga something. She was in the 007. She's been in tons of movies. You see her face, you will know her. But her character, when you hear what happened to her, you understand why she wanted to harm the Edomites. And for the record, she's playing a pick. The pick were not white people.
That's right.
The Picts were dark complected people, brown complected people. See, this is our Esau. That's another thing that he does. Just like Benji said, he changes everything. So he lies. He lies about history, right? But anytime you see that blue makeup, all right, that blue, that's really showing you that somebody who was dark brown complected, you know.
Yeah.
But
Advertising proof of it.
yeah,
Been boycotting the Avatar movie because it's about the Gadites.
That's right.
Which only proves the other Malcolm's point. When they painted blue, it's about brown, dark, or copper skinned people.
But what happened? She was a tracker, and you know, and of course this whole woman warrior shit, beating up 5 men shit by that bullshit.
Yeah, she got.
But the only thing she gonna do with 5 minutes is get ran through.
Exactly.
All right, but nevertheless, she didn't talk in the whole movie, and it turned out there was a scene that I was like, how did I miss this the first time? They raped her, they killed her father in front of her. They raped her mother in front of her, and then they cut her tongue out, and then they raped her. All right, so that's why she had such hate for the Romans, and it was like when she killed this Roman general, he still was so arrogant and pompous, but the guy explained to him why she's the way she is, you know, and when the guy told the story and the shit that was done to her, the Roman general who was a prisoner of war at the time, all he did was spit like, all right, like fuck her story. But the point being is that he didn't want to acknowledge his wickedness, what they had done. All right, because she was actually in the right. Bring that scripture. I was oppressed. It's perfect because these Edomites do not like to acknowledge their wrong and what they've done in history and the things that they've done to people. They always turn the camera on the point of when you retaliate against them after you've been wrong.
I think it's like a movie or a show that was titled along the lines of the creating of a terrorist.
Yeah,
and they was going into it, but I know that Samuel Jackson movie goes into it when he was the interrogator. But the point is, it's like, of course they're gonna hate you. You over there bombing their country, you fucking them up. They supposed to just accept that and take it. You know?
That's right.
I think it's called creating a terrorist or something like that. It's about like they retaliate, motherfucker.
Right.
Yeah, this that Wisdom of Solomon.
Yeah. Go ahead. I had the same thing. But
Yeah, Wisdom of Solomon 2 and 10, because you just read that Micah, you know, that so they oppress a man in his house, even a man in his heritage, right?
That's right.
This is Wisdom of Solomon 2 and 10. It says, let us oppress the poor righteous man.
That's right.
Let us not spare the widow, nor reverence the ancient gray hairs of the age.
And that's not only toward the Israelites, because that's number one. Esau Edom wants to make sure that we fall down. They're still mad about selling their birthright to Jacob,
which is the righteous.
Exactly. And it was
Kirilenko, that's her name.
That's right.
Olga Kirilenko.
See, but Esau is one now, but he wants to be as if he's God, and he wants to take over the whole planet. So he's doing this to every single body, every single nation.
Yep. Verse 11, it says, let our strength be the law of justice. You see, just like in that Micah 2 and 1, how it says, woe unto them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds when the morning is light. They practice it because it is in the power of their hand.
Exactly.
You see, it's in the power of their hand because Job 9:24, the earth was given into the hand of the wicked. So the wicked, they say, let us oppress the opposite of us. What's the opposite of wicked? Righteous. So let us oppress the poor righteous man. Let us not spare the widow nor reverence.
And that's why he spit. But because he's like, you traitorous bitch. But she didn't trade. It was all a setup. She set their ass up, and then she was extracting her vengeance.
Exactly.
Because he scoffed at her because she was nothing. She was a poor nobody anyway. So who are you? You're just a servant peasant anyway.
Right.
No matter what we do to you, we're righteous.
Well, this verse 11, it says, let our strength be the law of justice for that which is feeble.
That's why we fucked your mother.
Because
and you.
Exactly.
And killed your dad in front of you.
Because you're feeble. So that's what
It's gonna stop me.
Right.
So that means I'm better.
Exactly.
And since I'm better, then you should be not mad that I can take your stuff and listen to me.
That's it. So it says, let our strength be the law of justice, for that which is feeble is found to be nothing worth.
And that's the mindset of the so-called white man.
Survival of the fittest.
100%. And another reason why these Edomites are so angry too is they're angry about their precious wrong. You have to understand that so-called Negroes, the tribes of Judah, the kingdom of Judah, was responsible for the downfall of Rome.
See, they don't teach that.
The real reason Rome fell, all right, was because of the Negroes brought it down and took it over. And they tried to cover up and hide that history, which is why when we tell you that the true royals of Europe were the Negroes that came out of Rome, because the Negroes took over Rome. The Rome went from being the pagan Roman Empire to the Holy Roman Empire. All right, from the time of Septimius Severus and Persinius Niger. All right, which people erroneously call Niger. It's really nigger.
That's right. And you see, let's say 4 African emperors were Septimius Severus. They're lying because it's way more than that. That's before Septimius. The 1 or 2 before Septimius Severus, it had already started. But then this is what Esau will not talk about, and they do not put it in not one history book.
There's not a movie. There's not a class taught on it.
Yes.
Even though you can find the history. It's in secular history, but they make sure they leave it out of the what do you call it? The curriculum.
That's right.
They make sure they leave it out of the curriculum.
You see the afros and beards, you know what I'm saying? And if you go into the actual lineages and the heritages, and then you go into the actual ancient history from Josephus to Titus.
These were those Hellenized Jews, those Greek-speaking Jews, for the most part.
See, and then when you get things like this, where you see a dark skin painted and then a light skin painted, you can't get it right. This is Septimius Severus. He was a black man.
Yeah, and they were stroking out the white women that were left over from Rome.
That's right.
Right. That's what was going on. They was going to the White Castle.
Esau has a tight leash on you niggas today. They don't give y'all. See, in Roman era, they let y'all really come up. You know, I forget his name, and I always forget it, but he got 3 Roman names. What's the general? He had 3 Roman names.
Tiberius, Julius,
Alexander.
Exactly, the water. It's like, don't hear the nigga. He's an Israelite that knew he was an Israelite. All right, but he got 3 Roman names, but he was proud of it. His parents probably even named him that, man. But
he's probably one of the proud ass cops walking around today.
I think he close
Esau.
He knew he was Israelite, right? He knew he was Israelite.
That nigga was
He turned against his own people. But the point is, they gave niggas that freedom to prosper in that shit. All right, to earn their freedom, like Paul. He was free born. So they actually honored that shit back then with niggas. Esau, this time they keep a tight leash on you niggas so they don't get another Byzantine Empire will take over and niggas controlling shit.
Right.
That's why they bombed all the Black Wall streets. All right, that's why they redlined the Bronzeville up here.
The summer of 1919.
That's why
they organized hit on all the black settlements and neighborhoods across America that were prosperous and doing well. They were actually doing better than most of the white neighborhoods.
Yes, and they tell you that that's why it happened. Because they came back from war and they struggling to hurt, but these niggas is living it up, prospering.
With pianos in their houses and shit.
Right. On horses and shit. No.
When we went to a couple of weeks ago into the whole 1919 fiasco, you saw them having the riches, and we had coming out of there trying to flee from the Edomite persecution with their sports carts and so forth. Right. And they had the wealth, they stole it again. And I just make me think of Men in Black, when one of them, I don't know which number it was, where he went back in the past and he was driving a little car, and then he got pulled over by the popo. How you got this Cadillac? Why you drive this Cadillac? Right, it was whichever one it was. Yeah. And it was like, why you driving this Cadillac? That was a prevailing theme. Any Jake that had anything more than an Edomite, they would take your shit and put your ass in jail and put drugs on you as they do this day.
Hey, that's what he said in Rosewood that one scene. He said that nigga got a piano in his house. Yeah. I don't have a piano in my house.
That's it.
All right?
That's it.
He couldn't stand the fact, and I don't think that was Don Cheadle was the guy who could play the piano. He had the piano in his house. And then the cracker was, I don't have no piano in my house.
That's right.
You had an organ or a piano, boy, you was doing it big.
I mean, and even to this day, right now, go try to buy a baby grand. You talking about damn near $10,000, unless you buy something used from a personal person who trying to get rid of that motherfucker.
One more, I think my second great auntie down in Tennessee, she burnt my aunt's house. The Klan burned my aunt's house down. Esau anyway, burned her house because he had a piano in that house. Wow, it was well to do.
There it is. This nigga got a piano.
Yeah, I did.
What?
Right.
White power.
You got a piano. I decided to say he was gonna show up.
You know. All right, you know,
Right. You got Yeah, I did a play, and the grandma was going to give her daughter. The grandma was going to give the granddaughter because the mom and dad was, wherever, and so the grandma was taking care of her, and she seen her kissing this little boy, and so she was like, "Oh, well, I gotta give you away now." You know what I'm saying? I see that you're smelling yourself, and you can't be with no just some young little boy ain't got.
I remember that.
And what happened? She said, "Well, you gonna be going with Logan Killings. He's established and he got the onlyest organ in town." You know what I'm saying? So
This nigga got an organ. That's who you been.
This is who you been. And she said, no, grandma, no, I don't like boys. I don't like boys. You know what I'm saying? I'm still young. I ain't ready. You know what I'm saying? He's like, nope, I see you kissing the boy. You're going with Logan Killings. That's going to be your husband. And the granddaughter was like 14 at the time. Logan Killings was like 30-something.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And she's like, no, I don't know Logan Killings. He got the onlyest organ in town. I'm giving you over to him. Yeah, but hey, but that was again that was it took place in one of those all black towns that they ultimately came and
flooded out, burnt up.
Yeah, man. And Esau. Matter of fact, let me read this real quick. It says, the biggest genocide in human history did not occur in Nazi Germany, but on American soil. All right? And it says 100 million natives were slaughtered and lost their homeland.
100 million.
100 million. So if you add in South America and the islands,
And then the translated slave
and
trade.
then you add in transatlantic slave trade, you looking at you looking at 900 million.
right.
It's because it was estimated that over 100 million slaves died over the 400 year just from West Africa on the way coming. That you lost almost 100 million just that way alone.
And the scripture says
So
that.
hold on, let me read this too, brother. I got one more. Then it says and then here's the next genocide was the paper genocide. All right. It says the area where paper genocide or reclassifying Indians to black, white, or mulatto, first practiced by the government officers in the United States, later spreading to all America. And I've been saying that for years. The census enumerators reclassified a whole lot of natives, and it's now called them black. And it turns out in the book that was written by William Lorenz Katz, he talks about in Florida what they were doing to the Seminoles, because the Seminoles refused to take Judah as slaves. They actually were taking Judites into their tribes and intermarrying. That's why you have this group of people referred to as the Black Seminoles. All right. So you got the Seminoles, the Black Seminoles, and they're intermixed and all. But what was happening with them was that Esau started stealing them and selling them in the southern slave markets. Right. So the ones that they were reclassifying them, and a lot of them went to a lot of them were sold in Mississippi, and one of the main cities that they went to was Yazoo, Mississippi. So a lot of people that are from Yazoo, there's a lot of Reubenites from Yazoo. All right. So so nevertheless, so genocide came in many ways. So they openly admitting now. History is exposing the fact that they took Native Americans and reclassified them as white, and most of them they reclassified as black, right? Because what they did, and then you also have the Dawes Rolls, All right, you got all these Edomites that were able to sign a document that said that they were native, while they were taking real natives and reclassifying them as black.
What is this $5 Indian?
Or mulatto.
That's right.
So a lot of people that got
Sure.
mulatto on their birth certificate,
Right.
on their birth certificate, they were actually Native American.
What's the
All right.
phrase, Elder? $5 Indian?
The $5 Indian.
Which the crackers paying to become natives. They the ones that got the casino benefits.
Yes, come on.
They the ones that's running that shit. They the ones that own. I forget the name of the actual group. They got the different groups, so you gotta verify your bloodline is
Yeah.
the Indians. It's Edomites that run that shit.
That's it.
Cause it's a native dude. I've seen his videos. He got the proof and everything. He calls them
Oh yeah, I saw
to
that
get
video.
recognized as a native, and they hate him because he called them out for not being real natives.
That's right.
And then they refuse to, acknowledge him.
Right,
But you
right.
got all the proof.
That's it.
Yeah.
And
They
they
paid to
talk,
get this.
right. They talk about 25% this, 25, 30%,
Yeah.
and it's all lies. It's
That
Esau
blood
bullshit.
quadrant
Yeah.
bullshit
Yeah.
that they made,
Bullshit.
that they completely made up.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Trump used that to get one of his casinos built on land like that. And what was I getting ready to say? And oh man, I hate that thing. I just lost it.
It's
Okay,
all right.
go ahead.
I got some in Sirach 10:8. Because of unrighteous dealings, injuries, and riches got by deceit, the kingdom is translated from one people to another.
Perfect.
Now, I had basically this screenshot, but it says the Holocaust in California. Beginning in 1846, over 150,000 California natives were slaughtered. So it goes on to the documented history, but then current history is digging most of these things up about other events that were documented where natives were slaughtered. And then I believe it was like around the 1950s, Guatemala had basically put in a democratically elected president that was giving back the lands owned by American companies back to the people. And what America did is they funded our rival to come and kill off the people and give those lands back to the American banana company. So Esau, what he does is not only does he call you an illegal when you seek asylum in his country after all, but he's the one that's responsible destabilizing these other countries.
Absolutely.
When remember Elder, the one clip that we have is America's bombing through diplomacy since I want to say since the 1920s, America has systematically bombed Central and South America. So he creates this poverty. So then these people flee here because he already fucked up their country, and then they calls them illegal here and fucks them all over again. So it's like a endless cycle. That's why the Lord has to come visit Esau, man.
Well,
I can I back this brother up real quick, Pops? This is Ezekiel 35:5. Because thou hast had a perpetual hatred
Perfect.
and has shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity. In the time of their iniquity had an end. So Esau never let up. He got us when it was time for us to go through calamity. And he got us when shit. We supposed to be free. Right. They told us we free. And they really got both their feet up our ass. Boots shined up, twisted sideways up our ass, man.
That's it.
Destroying us,
That's
right?
at this day.
Exactly. Therefore, as I live, saith the Lord Yahweh, I will prepare thee unto blood, and blood shall pursue thee. Since thou hast not hated blood, even blood shall pursue thee. So, like the Bishop Ariella read, man. All right, and that's Sirach 10. Sirach 12. Sirach 10. Right. Hey, this kingdom got to fall, man. It can't continue like this. Now, not only did they do this to all the nations, they put violence in the whole world, but most importantly, they did this to the apple of the Lord's eye.
That's right.
And it's continual. They put a continual stroke on the heathens and a double stroke on us, man.
And that's why the Proverbs 29:2, when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn. And so here it is right now, the wicked is still bearing rule because the people that's being ruled over is mourning right now. As opposed to it says when the righteous are in authority, the people that's being ruled over is going to rejoice. And so when the righteous are in authority, there's going to be no need for any translation to another people to ever rule again. Because here it is, if the righteous were ruling right now, people would be rejoicing.
Right.
But because the wicked is still bearing rule, that means that the people are mourning. Also, it means that there is another translation from one whoever is ruling right now to somebody else ruling.
Right,
See?
what does it say? It has to be, if that place not be overturned,
Yeah.
then the righteous can't be planted. So the wickedness has to be overturned. That's why the brother brought out that Ezekiel 35, that Ezekiel 35:1 talks about prophesying against Mount Seir, and Genesis 36 tells you Esau is Edom that dwelt in Mount Seir, man. So we're prophesying against him that's gonna lose, and guess what? The beginning of it that followed, which is Jacob.
Okay.
I got. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, and these like you said, Esau being who he is, he likes to he skews the numbers all the time. There was a congresswoman that was a Middle Eastern, elected congresswoman here that was Middle Eastern, and how
She's from Asia, brother.
Oh.
There's no such thing as a Middle East.
okay, well, Asia,
That's
Exactly.
shit they made up.
exactly, Asia, and she was going in on how they were skewing the numbers because of the fact that if you put us down as who we are, we get a cut this way. But since you're using us to bolster your numbers, the cut goes that way.
Oh yeah, the census, there is no option for Middle Eastern, so-called Middle Eastern or
right,
Arab.
right.
They label themselves as white. It's a whole acronym for it. I think it's
Yeah, it was something.
NAFAC or NOFAC. I have to look into it, but it's North Africa, so it's not.
And we tested this one.
North Africa and Asia, I think.
Yeah, something like that. I know what
think
you're
it's
talking
not
about.
Now you remember when we was on
They
before we
all
had
put themselves down as crackers.
before COVID.
They put them down as crackers.
Remember when we did the little elder camp right across the street, and we had some foreigners come, and we asked them,
They were from Egypt.
right, and they're from. You
There were
remember?
two Arab girls from,
Yes.
from
He said
Egypt.
the nigga rod.
And they asked them what they classify themselves, and they classified themselves as white. And said, well, that's the only checklist that they Esau is.
Yeah, and they'll have Arabs that come over that are darker than some of the darker brothers in this group,
Con.
and they still
refer to them as
they're
Israelites.
labeled as white.
Yep.
That's also to that's for two reasons. That's for just to try to keep white superiority going, to keep the lie that they've told going,
That's it.
and it's also to keep their numbers up because to hide the fact that they're really the minority right now.
Perfect.
Especially with the loss of 40 million people to the over the last the past 22 years to fentanyl.
That's right.
And we're not even gonna count the blood clot.
It's MENA.
Bumble class.
MENA, Middle Eastern North African.
There it is.
That's the group that they call white.
See, that's bullshit.
So they can boost their numbers,
So-
which proves the prophecies, right? The fact you got to do that. This proves the Edomites that you're small amongst the heathen.
And then,
Yeah,
and right now, again, that soundbite from Joe Biden talking about it's not America's really in trouble, not just because of black folks. And then you get the memes on Instagram and TikTok. They look like, when they do their little what's the bam, but because we're the minorities and we have only this. And by 2030 or 2040, we will be the minority. Bitch, you've been the minority.
Same thing.
Fuck.
Thomas Jefferson said, man. He didn't want the swarthy nations to come over here and fuck
That's
up
right.
their whiteness. We already said we
No,
were
that was
minorities.
Benjamin
Franklin.
Franklin.
Yeah. What I say?
Thomas Jefferson, another cracker. Go ahead.
Right, that's right.
So they was all in bed together.
They all looking like.
They was all in bed together.
But yeah, I got a precept because this just shows like how they try to hide the fact and hold themselves not accountable for these things. This is Zechariah 11:5. Who possess and slay them to hold themselves not guilty, and they that sell them say, "Blessed be the Lord Yahweh, for I am rich, and their own shepherds Peter do not." So they trying to hold themselves not guilty for all of this wickedness they've been doing for all these years and trying to hide everything. They want to do this, do that. When they're attacking us, attacking everybody, really, they're attacking the whole world. But the main attack is on the Israelites, so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans anyway.
That's
So-
because they know who we are.
Exactly.
And they don't want us to know who we are. And the fact that now we're claiming our heritage, they have a big problem.
Oh yeah.
Because they know what's
Right?
coming,
And
they
now
come
that they
behind.
really got them shook up is the Northern Kingdom.
Exactly.
Even though they're trying to pretend like, it's not a problem, it's a problem.
Yep.
Hey, they did that to them in California with the whole Brooklyn Dodgers when the city had made a deal. It's called Chavez Ravine, where present-day Dodger Stadium is. Those were Mexican projects, the people that were there way before California was part of the American Union. And what they did is they gave some of the locals vouchers because they were going to rebuild them ghettos So what happened is that all got caught in legislation. So some people left willingly because they had gotten vouchers for the new housing developments. Well, legislation here and there, like the scripture said, through policy, all right, they basically couldn't fund that project because obviously white Americans were against them building projects to the so-called Mexican. And what they did is they put off that project so that the owner of the Brooklyn Dodgers ended up buying the land on which is present day Dodger Stadium, and took that by force. And that shows we're still that concrete people. Collectively,
Wow.
the
I
12
never knew that history.
Hey, Jeremiah 50:33. You know, the North and Southern Kingdom are pressed together. That's the same shit they did for Central Park. They did a lot of lands, but they built Central Park, and them rich motherfuckers in Manhattan decided we want a park. They took niggas' land, all right, and built over it.
Yeah.
And there's been no issue. Same thing they did with Issachar. They didn't do that to the Moabites. Hey, look, Ammon, the Japanese, after they got put in them concentration camps for a couple months,
Right.
they got reparations.
And they were snatching up Koreans. They were snatching up Chinese. They were snatching them all up. But you're right. Hey, your eyes were slanted. You was getting snatched up.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you got paid off for it, so you can rebuild. Meanwhile, they made sure they crippled so-called Negroes and Latinos, Native Americans. But they made sure we crippled, man. Yeah, you know, Mexicans got a few grocery stores, but bro, the profit they should get and hold on to, they get taxed. Bro, look.
Yes.
Without saying too much, I know it's a Christ that got a restaurant. We ended up talking when they were talking about their finances, bro. Esau taxed the fuck out of Mexicans for that shit they got.
Yes. And it's funny. It's not funny. But if you go back, we already knew, brother. But you go back to Central Park. I was just watching a documentary on it. There were a lot of well-to-do so-called Negroes who went and built up that land.
Yeah.
They went and bought that land. I'm talking about they put their life savings in there, built up nice land. Of course, you're going to get some people who probably didn't have the greatest shit. They looked at the people, they went and took the pictures of any kind of so-called shanty versus the big elaborate houses, and they did a smear campaign like, oh, we need to go ahead and reclaim this land because these niggas they're
explain
slamming on shit. They're
Look, if you're at the very northern part of Central Park, that's up there near Harlem and Spanish Harlem. When you look at some of the most beautiful brownstones, that all them brownstones that are all like where they used to do the Cosby's at,
Right.
where they used to show you the Cosby Show, that's how most of Central Park looked.
That's right.
Yeah.
All right.
Big,
That's how most of it looked.
Mm-hmm.
So they found some little shanty towns and did a
Yes.
smear campaign.
Yes.
That's a lie. And they built right over the graves, right over the schools, all that shit.
And it's funny.
And Central Park is big as hell, man.
Yes.
I've been in Central Park many a times. All right. And Central Park is huge and it's beautiful
Yes.
for the most part on top of that. But it's built right over Jake's
Right.
dwelling place.
And they've been excavating recently off and on and coming up with all these artifacts and relics and stuff and showing it was a thriving, beautiful
Oh
community.
yeah.
So it's like, how you gonna pull up this stuff and you've seen these silver plates and these porcelains and all the stuff that you just done demolished and buried because you didn't want to excavate and pull it all out. Because Esau, to this day, you go down anywhere in Chicago, if you pull up another few feet of the earth, you see cobblestone. Esau don't go ahead and excavate and get out and clear out. He just sits, pull over, and just step on top. So when you go dig under, you see the truth.
You look, Stony Island is called Stony Island for a reason. For all you brothers who are young, look, because that whole strip of Stony Island was all islands.
Right.
It was islands and water, then island and water, then island and water. That's what it was. So it's all filled landfill. A lot of the south side. That whole portion of the south side.
Yeah,
is all
southeast.
landfill.
Southeast,
Look,
yeah.
if you stood on that bridge right where the main camp is, if you walked and stood on that bridge on Roosevelt, where the theater is, and you looked to the whole south side, it was all wilderness.
Right.
This Chicago started at 12th. So it was all this side of town didn't exist.
That's right. Chicago.
It was all built up, and then they stuck Jake over there.
That's right.
And then when Jake prospered,
then they
They
started
destroyed it.
and it was marshland. That's right.
Because look what happened, you know, in Pilsen. Pilsen did very well as well.
Yes,
Right.
All right.
And
Esau coming to take the shit back, just like Bronzeville. You got these goops and these fucking crackers moving in.
Yeah, because the Edomites are complaining about Moab in Bridgeport because Moab did multiply so much they didn't spilled out of Chinatown into Bridgeport.
Yeah.
So they all up in Bridgeport.
That
You know-
Bridgeport Bakery, Elder, is owned by Goop,
But there it is, man.
and
So-
that was their prize and jewel.
You know, because I
Yeah.
had a concubine over there for years, man. She was always complaining about Moab, man.
I got a
All right.
precept for y'all. This is Revelation 12:10. I heard a loud voice saying in heaven, now has come salvation and strength, and the kingdom of our power, and the power of his anointed. For the accuser of our brethren is cast down, which accused them before our power day and night. And that's part of Esau's control, man. He makes sure that he talks shit about niggas and make us to be just the image of just wickedness.
Somebody got to be the bad guy.
Yeah, he
Right.
makes sure,
They got to label us to do it.
and it says that he separated himself as angel of light. So he put himself as the good guy, make us the bad guy.
Well, that's like in the media
Yeah.
because the
Right.
statistics show, you can look it up. Statistics show that most violent crimes are done by white males. But what do you see in the media every day, all day long? So they purposely don't put those stories in the media.
Well, that which goes
Right.
to the point.
And she said that the cats all came up missing too. All the stray cats when Moab came in.
Right.
Just throwing
They,
it out.
they like to make niggas be just the worst people. But even though they showed them, they was going and niggas was getting money and moving out to LA. But the bitch stood up and said, you know what, blacks actually increased the property value. But the big backers wanted to keep putting their image out that niggas destroy shit, they fuck it up, and that will make these crackers move. And then they move to the suburbs. Yep, white flight. So these crackers thinking niggas gonna bring the value down. But she said no, niggas actually increase the value. Because when the J do something, they gonna do it right.
That's right.
Like the block clubs, you know, a nigga be extra as hell. Like, no, because nigga get money, they gonna do it right.
Hey,
Hey,
Now
but
you got low level niggas that do some nigga shit, but
Right.
that's a creation of Esau. Niggas typically do things right.
it's
Yeah.
funny. We're the number
the
one.
the nigger, all right, is
Hard.
it is a creation of the so-called white man.
That's right.
Facts.
By the oppression and the suppression and the removal of resources and hope, he created the nigger with his project, with his scientific project, when he stuck them in the projects
Right.
and depleted them
of income.
of resources, income,
Right.
jobs, hope,
Right.
food, and everything.
Arrested.
And
Right.
then
He arrested their development.
then molded their minds to think that, you know, bad bitches and real niggas was, you know, hey, the shit to be like and to emulate, you know.
The movies, the music,
The music
and purposely giving them a second and third class education.
and
Purposely.
and those that
Redlining the whole nine.
and those that talk the truth, and you were just speaking on this, just real quick, this 2 Peter 2:2, and many shall follow their pernicious ways, by reason of whom the way of truth shall be evil spoken of. See, the truth is going to be evil spoken of, and those who's propagating and speaking the truth, they themselves are going to be evil spoken of to draw people away from the truth and those that speaking it. That's why it says many shall follow pernicious
That's
ways,
right. That's right.
destructive
Right.
ways.
Right.
Because they got the all the media and the, you know, they control the narrative and to, you know, put on the minds of the people what is right, what is wrong, who is wrong.
Bruce Jenner is brave. Bruce Jenner is the woman of the year.
Exactly.
Meanwhile, we're the worst.
Yes.
Because we tell you a woman is supposed to be in order, carry herself a certain way,
Yeah.
not be twerking and shaking ass.
Yeah.
That a man is supposed to be a fucking man.
Yeah.
But we're the worst.
Worst.
But then they promote what? Shoot this nigga, fuck this bitch,
Yep.
bitch twerking at the headlight.
The lean,
This
the pills.
oh, you gotta take it. What the niggas say? Perk 20, right? The perk 30, pop up, perk 60, perk 2, perk 30.
Can I share this with
Turkey
you?
dance. This is wickedness.
Wicked.
I just got a message and I opened it just because I was curious. They said black ranchers being forced off off $1,000 acre ranch in El Paso County in Colorado. All right, so this is calling it that he's being terrorized.
Right.
All right.
Amen,
It says
amen.
black. It says black collar. Matter of fact, I'm gonna send this and we'll play it. That's what I'm gonna do.
But yeah,
I
White
got a
man, I read
scripture.
this.
Yep.
This
Go ahead.
Proverbs 12:26. The righteous is more excellent than his neighbor, but the way of the wicked seduceth them. So Esau set this system up, which the word system means trap. Proverbs 12:26.
I got
Which the word system means trap. It means pit. Esau set this trap up, this system up to deceive you niggas. And it started before rap, man.
Come on.
All right,
wait a
Esau
second.
used pop stars before he used Prince to promote that androgynous,
Androgynous.
that androgynous spirit.
Absolutely.
Hey,
All right, he used all these niggas, man. He used the me and Mrs. Jones nigga to promote adultery.
Oh,
Yeah.
All right, they used all that shit. What's the old bitch that made the first WAP song? The fat bitch. I put it on. Bring it down.
Oh, right. That was like in the 20s or something.
Yeah, in the 20s.
Yeah.
That's the Harlem Renaissance time.
Yeah.
Harlem Renaissance was full of fucking degenerates. But they get fame and praise for that shit.
Right.
Because it leads to what? More degeneracy, man.
Hey,
Esau put that shit out there.
Can-
Talks about the go ahead.
I was gonna get the word seducing because it says the righteous is more excellent than his neighbor, but the way of the wicked seduceth them, seduceth the righteous, right? So this is the word for seducing. This is the Hebrew 8:5-8:2, which is the ayah, and it says to err, wander, go astray, stagger, to wander about, of intoxication, of sin, wandering, to stagger, to be led astray, to err. You see, these are all the things that what they put out there, and to say, hey, you could flourish if you be like this, right?
Don't mess
But
with
if
the feed.
But if you be like this, if you be like that, you're gonna be erring from the ways of righteousness. You're gonna be misled from the ways of righteousness.
This is Psalm 55:21. The words of his mouth were smoother than butter.
Smoother than butter. They gonna speak real smooth, slick, sweet. It's gonna sound
Sound
real
good.
sweet. It's
Oh,
gonna
man.
sound real good.
They gonna use some very large, scholastic words.
Come on now.
Oh yeah,
The $25 word,
you gonna have the ball. Shit.
right?
Yeah, Jimmy Iovine proved that on that interview with the Breakfast Club. They called that damn Jewish right out, man. They called him out about you sign these rappers that promote this wickedness.
Yes.
He said, is that not hypocritical? He said, well, I got a family.
I got a family to feed.
Well, what they got to do anything? If you put out other music, people gonna buy whatever you put out.
Right.
But it just shows you're part of the fucking wickedness, man.
Exactly.
Y'all want to make niggas kill niggas, man.
Okay, but war was
And you niggas ain't innocent because y'all eat the shit up.
Exactly.
All right.
but war was
I
in
saw
his
a video where they were rapping over it and they showed a dude talking about don't be sitting in your car. And they showed the dude roll up and see a clip.
right.
You know, all of he had a
50
switch.
round on that bitch.
Yeah,
Hey, had
Right.
a drum on it.
yeah.
So yeah, X-Well.
But war was in his heart. His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords.
Yep.
Which was a coward ass move, man. Esau's behind that type of wickedness.
That's it.
Right? Drawing swords. Because Esau, he'll set you up when you draw swords on your own brother, man.
Exactly.
He's behind that shit. Because you see that little coward ass skinny nigga that ran up and shot that dude like that, man. He couldn't even afford a gun like that. Where the fuck he get a gun like that? With a drum and a switch on it.
Exactly.
That setup is high. That's very expensive.
Right,
High
yeah.
tech.
Them switches are 3D printed. Niggas ain't got 3D printers.
That's
Niggas ain't got 3D printers.
There
That's
you
right.
go.
crazy.
And I think Rowla in the business room, I think he did the steal one of them pictures where you saw where he was all in covered up and shit. Looked like his Edomite, when his skin or his wrist, whatever.
Oh yeah, now we've been telling you that for a long time.
Oh yeah.
A lot of these, even though the one we saw that was a nigga, but just his movement, you can tell.
I
he was a
thought
nigga.
so too.
But yeah, Esau will dress up, and put on the prosthetic skin and face and hands and go out and commit crimes, and then then they'll blame it on somebody that's brown
Well,
skin.
you remember that gun he dropped? It was gold. It had a Trump on it and shit.
See?
So
You checked your phone?
I'm just checking the thing. The brother saying no sound at all.
Well, no, it just it wasn't like that beforehand. It was the change.
Well, you know what's funny though, because it's still recorded. It's on Pops and it's fine. Esau's attacking this one.
That Wi-Fi.
No, I
They need to replace the coaxials.
Yeah, but it's still Esau. It's because I'm sure Uriah's doing his videos from here all the time, and they just fine. So there's no reason if his video is recording and going up on the internet, why shouldn't be going up fine now? So yeah, we probably need to replace those, but nevertheless, Esau's behind this shit.
All right, this was right here, right?
No, that's not
Who's
what I
that?
sent you, brother. I have no idea. Who
Hey,
This is for you. Who's that?
That's what that's big fish.
Nigga want me sexy.
That's not what I said.
That's so important.
Yeah, this is what I said.
That's safe.
Okay, no, it popped up now. No, that's safe, bro. That's safe.
Yeah, I forgave you for that.
Yo, Salah Saliki. His Miss Parker.
Miss Parker?
Right, that was Miss Parker. Right there.
Man.
Come on,
You know what I want.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm blocking in the motherfucker.
Yeah, definitely Miss Parker.
This is bullshit because I didn't do anything but copy and paste. I do this all the time. That's
Why
safe.
they get her 5 minutes on the screen?
No, we're gonna figure this out. Give me a second. Slide. Because I clicked on that was on mine now, but I did the same thing. All I did was copy and
Well,
paste.
that's probably who uploaded the video. And it ain't load up. They
Right.
show they still
Right.
main profile.
Well, I'm just gonna jam. I don't feel like even messing with the.
He says, "Oh well."
So,
Sounds back. It's
Baba
back.
It
Kachai,
sound good, fine.
I saw when they switched
That's
it.
fucked up because it's on your phone now.
I know. And
Now load it. You should be loaded now.
Okay. No. Let me try.
That shit crazy.
Because
Man.
this shit.
No, Esau do shit like that because sometimes I get a video and when I click on it, something else shows and then the video switches. So I know what you're talking about. That
I
shit
didn't
happens.
do.
I'm trying to tell you.
Okay, I'll give
Especially when you
You
deal
gotta
with
let it load
TikTok.
up. It's just a profile picture.
Yeah, do that TikTok take forever to load up.
Oh no, this is your first video. Then we're gonna go to the second.
Okay,
Damn.
Yeah.
Hey, this bitch a devil. She taking over.
She's right. You shouldn't see you.
That's
That ain't your home.
bitch.
Well, you know what? And in the 70s, most women did look like
Like that, absolutely.
I just
No, that's an old bitch. She said she's a 70s baby. That bitch is ugly.
She's a color.
Oh, she ugly. Ugly, but she's young.
Now I'm gonna try it again.
It's a color.
Matter of fact, you know what I'm doing? I'm just gonna play it through my phone.
Nigger.
I'm
Hard R.
You niggers.
I'm gonna play it through my phone.
That's Baba Kashai.
Somebody because I'm gonna play it through my phone, so that it gets played through the phone. I'll put it to the camera.
2 ranchers in Colorado. Courtney and Nicole
Full
Mallory
screen.
own 1,000
Take off
acres
ratio.
in El Paso County, Colorado. And despite Nicole being a U.S. military veteran who waves her military flag on their ranch and being a part of the church community, as well as feeding the residents in El Paso from their food from their ranch, they are being terrorized by locals who want their land. As seen here in the footage, locals have been jumping the fence. They have slaughtered their livestock, poisoned their dog, and has driven by their house waving guns. Nicole was ran off the road when she was coming back from church. Courtney states that there was a woman that pulled up in his driveway and said that she was supposed to own the land and made threats about unaliving their dog. What's worse is that the local sheriff isn't doing anything about it and is being investigated now for being a part of this terrorism. And they have actually issued a warrant for Courtney and Nicole because of their complaints against the local community and the sheriff. So they're actually facing criminal charges for reporting everything that's been happening on their land. So here's my thoughts. They told us to pull ourselves up by our bootstraps. They told us to stop using the race card because, you know, racism doesn't exist anymore. You know, one of the largest lawsuits that ever happened in the United States was against the USDA for discriminating against Black farmers. We know that Black farmers make up a very low percent. I think it's less than 2% of all farmers today. What racism does, it puts fear in you, and that's exactly what they're trying to do to Courtney and his wife. His address has been leaked in a local Facebook group to where now he's in a witness protection program. And this sent shockwaves out. So now so many other African Americans are saying, you know what? I don't want to farm. I'm scared to go into these areas. But we can't let fear stop us. Here's the call to action. There's a protest that's going to happen at the Denver Capitol.
You can stop right there, brother. There's no defense against Esau either, right? Except for Yahweh Shem Shai. But the point is just to show you that all the pressure that we've been talking about this whole lesson is still happening. That was the point. That is still going on. All right. This is not our rest.
I got it.
All right.
It's up there.
I got it.
You guys get the Zachary? Go ahead, brother.
This is not our rest.
Yeah, Mike.
This is Micah 2:10. Arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest, because it is polluted. It shall destroy you, even with the sword destruction. Hey, you know, hey, like we were saying, you know, this ain't our rest, man. You know, and the Lord has shown that countless times. We pulled ourselves up by our bootstraps countless times. You know, and that's why Esau, you know,
Done better than Esau.
which is through the spirit, he sabotaged everything, man. Because what? The Lord has slated this place for our captivity, and the end of that is for great judgment, man.
Right.
So that we can get a great deliverance about
and
this
our people
motherfucker.
are really all going out. Yeah, that real pretty ass Ephraimite chick.
Yeah.
Right.
She been talking to me directly now. She been watching the videos.
Right.
This is what she said. So this is what is going on in the minds of our people. So she went from scoffing to begging for help. Yesterday, last night, I'm gonna just read. I'm not gonna put a name out there. But she all over TikTok. You know, she find.
So what's her name?
I said this, but this was directly to me. It says, "I am so depressed. I am so fed up.
Perfect.
I feel like I exist for nothing. Exist for what?
Not for nothing.
And all I said, well, hey, keep your head up, beloved. We're almost out of here. Things are going to get really bad, but those things have to happen in order for us to get to the good part. And then she just simply said, I don't want to live.
So, Lockie, can I read this?
Go ahead, brother.
This Genesis 3:16. You know how you feel like you exist for nothing?
Perfect.
Because your purpose on earth, and that's for every woman on the fucking planet. Your purpose on the earth was to be a helpmeet. It's to be a slave to a man.
That's right.
And not just you alone, you and your sister wives, bitch.
Yeah. Hey,
She left hers.
Hey,
That's why you feel like killing yourself.
hey, just like we are the woman to the
So
Most
like,
High
can
God.
I read this? No, I ain't go that deep. Fuck you. What you saying is true, bitch. This is what your part is, man. We ain't finna look. Genesis 3:16. What you said is true. But Genesis 3:16. Unto the woman he said, I will greatly multiply thy sorrow and thy conception. In sorrow thou shalt bring forth children, and thy desire shall be to thy husband.
Excuse me?
And thy desire shall be to thy husband, and he shall rule over thee.
And they don't want that. They fight that. Now let me finish.
And that's why you bitches are fucking going through hell and want to kill yourself.
Exactly.
But let me finish. Then I said, and then she said, I don't want to live. I said, you're not alone in thinking and feeling like that. That most people think and feel like that, you know. And then she just simply said, I'm ready to die.
Yeah.
These are her words.
She got that notorious B.I.G. spirit.
All right.
because they fell for the narrative, man. They fall for the Esau narrative, and you put all your money, your heart, your soul, your mind, your time into this bullshit just to get deflated and the balloon fucking pop.
Yep.
You want to fucking die.
Yeah, no matter how many bags you bring in, no matter how big your bag is, bitch, you will never feel fulfilled.
That's right.
Because your purpose on earth is to serve your man.
See, it's because the nature of the man is a nature of a man. A nature of a woman is a nature of a woman. A man is not a woman. A woman is not a man. The set of rules is not the same. You have estrogen that powers the fucking woman. You have testosterone that powers the man. It's no way you can. I don't give a fuck how much bullshit Esau put in the foods and air and whatever the fuck we drink and so forth. It's not going to change the innate design by Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai, for what a man is and what a woman is. And so now you've been failing to Esau's narrative. That's on you, because if you follow Yahweh Hashem Shai's narrative, you will be okay.
That's it. You change the nucleus, all right, of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, then you get hell. All right, if you go along with the system and the rules and regulations, the do's and don'ts, the just nature of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, then you're gonna have a paradise again.
Life and death, said before you.
That's right.
And this is what it's really coming down to. Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai by Shem Rakakadash is showing who is on his side and who in our cause, like Yahweh Shai said, he that is with us is not against us, man. If you with the Most High, Yahweh Shai, you're going to be with his men, you're going to be with his doctrine, you're going to be with his words, and you're going to fall in fucking line because you're in the righteousness of Yahweh Shai. If not, you're going to get destroyed.
That's it.
Period.
Nothing else.
From the rooter to the motherfucking tutor.
And with that,
What better note to leave it off on? Cutting a bitch.
That's right.
Yep. Because everything is ass backwards, man.
Yeah, she went from proud and scoffing to now wanting to die.
And that's beautiful because that's a microcosm that's going to happen
Of the
down the
world.
line. I believe that the apostles of Great Millstone, I'm not trying to switch the topics to the original topics that we was going to do within the spirit change to an open forum. But there's a lot of people switching up doctrines and changing things and playing games through the spirit and power of Yahweh Hashem Shai. And it's a lot of tomfuckery and goddammit, a whole lot of distractions. See, but the scripture says, if our gospel be hid, it's hid to them that are lost. The hopeful, righteous elect are going to hear this truth, gravitate to this truth, humble down to this truth, and perform in this truth.
I got that scripture you quoted.
Go ahead, brother.
I'm gonna start at 1 That's at 4. I gotta read that. This is 2 Corinthians 4:1. Therefore, seeing we have this ministry as we have received mercy, we faint not, but have renounced the hidden.
So doing this work is for our benefit. This is our mercy.
That's right.
You get weak, you quit, whatever the case may be. Hey,
That's
you only
on
forsaking
you.
your own mercy.
That's right.
We need this. The Lord don't need us.
Come on, brother.
It says, but have renounced the hidden things of dishonesty. And that's why these niggas don't like us, because they don't have the power to do that. Because the Lord is not dealing with them. Not walking in craftiness, nor handling the word of Yahweh deceitfully, but by manifestation of the truth, commending ourselves to every man's conscience in the sight of Yahweh. But if our gospel be hid, it is hid unto them that are lost. Now I'm going to read verse 4 too. It says, in whom the God of this world have blinded the minds of them which believe not, lest the light of the glorious gospel of Mashiach, who is the image of Yahweh, should shine unto them. And these people are blind. That's why the Lord said it, in the scriptures. He said the elect have obtained it and the rest have been blinded. So you really can't marvel on the things that happen in the society. Whether it's niggas falling out, whether it's the woman coming against you, whether it's some coons at your job, coming against you, whether it's this bitch walking out the door. Look, the Lord is blinded these people. They don't see who you are.
Right.
They know you better than them and different from them, but they'll never see who you are. They don't have what it takes to be you. So the Lord ain't dealing with them, man. The scripture said, one of some did not believe. Does that make the word of Yahweh void? Yahweh forbid. The Lord knows that these niggas, you have to really go outside every day knowing these niggas gonna get destroyed, not believe it. And it's a better chance for you because they had never believed it, man.
Hey, that's manifest destiny. They got
That's right.
That's right.
They gotta die, man, because 2/3 gotta be destroyed off the face of the earth so they can realize in the kingdom they fucked up.
That's right. See, the Most High is going to do that to all the heathen and to the 2/3. By the time the Most High finishes his work down here on earth, every knee will bow, every tongue will confess that Yahweh Shai is king. And they're going to love it because right now you got uproars of the people from Brazil to Bolivia to shit, even Israel to Iran, Peru. It's nothing but uproars of the people. Why? In America, it's nothing but uproars of the people. Across Ukraine, it's uproars of the people. German, reason why the German bitch said that they are you out.
Here in New York with the Venezuelan migrant, because the basically what it's leading to is a lot of resentment within the Northern Kingdom about the entitlement of the Venezuelans, so that they're pushing that, so that the Northern Kingdom here has a problem with the Venezuelans that got brought up because they're basically asking for no rent to be right.
They get spoiled, man.
And that's causing a lot of resentment between the tribes because there's Venezuelans and Puerto Ricans and Cubans that haven't made it in New York and are resentful within Venezuelans that are coming expecting, like the brother said, high-end hotels, jobs, and being able to party all day. Yeah.
Hey, but not only that, so what's playing in the, because I got like 5 of them working for me right now, right? So what's really playing is a lot of so-called Americans are getting pissed off because with this big tech industry, all the layoffs, none of these people could find jobs. None of these people could get government help.
That's right.
But you done brought all these Venezuelans in and helping them. That's
And
gonna start.
the Haitians, because the niggas on the south side are mad about the Haitians that's getting housed in Chicago now.
So it's gonna be a lot of civil unrest.
That's what I'm saying.
So, because what you about to have is all these little stuck-up, cross-legged bitches that sit in the coffee shops up in Dom's Market on Halsted and Diversey. Right? Sit up there typing. They sit up in there and eat croissants and you know, and type on their computers all day. All them about to not have no job, man.
Exactly.
Right? All that high tech, they about to have no job because AI is getting ready to take over all that shit.
Exactly.
So you're not gonna be able to sit up and drink, you know, a $5 cup of mochaccino and then another $5 cup of some fancy ass tea and sit and you know and work 5-6 hours just sitting there on your ass in a coffee shop and then go shop and go eat and come back and do it again. And your day be over. That shit is gone.
That's over with.
So a woman I know lost like a 90K job. And all she was doing was recruiting.
And I know some bitches personally, an Edomite bitch and a nigga bitch that personally I dealt with, work on the computer all day and complain about working on the goddamn computer. You not doing shit. Right. You don't do nothing all day. You on the computer that's in the house, chilling, and they complaining, making decent money. And what now? Hey, when that stuff go away, like you saying, man, they gonna see and feel it and suffer for all this bullshit. They complain about nothing and they making good money. You gonna see them? These bitches are gonna fucking suffer when that shit is done.
Just like in that video I did, like Chung Lee found feminism failed Chung Lee. All right. Matter of fact, pull up Chung Lee from the 100. It failed their ass, you know, because these women they got, you know, they didn't got full of themselves, full of pride. They've been elevated by this simp wimp Esau, and been fed this false, you know. You didn't see all these damn Marvel movies, you know, the Black Widow and the Catwoman, you know, right, Captain, right, you know. Wonder bitch, Wakanda forever bitch,
The Woman King.
you know.
Please.
Back,
That is lies.
no,
That's
put
fucking
in
mad.
Chung Lee from the physical 100.
Yeah, the fiscal one.
The physical 100.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, that shit horrible. The Woman King.
And then put in image.
No, I don't even like the first Black Panther movie. I seen that shit and didn't watch nothing else.
There you go. That's the image, right? Go to that first image on the bottom. That,
Go up.
but well, that's not too. But no, you missed it. The first one on the left, right there. Because that's the end result. You see how big her legs are, how muscular she is. She picked him up and threw him down. Then he stopped playing with her, and he showed her that she not a man.
That's right.
And she really got embarrassed and humbled till she was, you know, she was proud, because she was so prideful the whole time, walking around like she's so swole. Yeah. And then and when you go to pick out your opponent, She gonna go and pick out a dude, an MMA fight on top of that.
Right.
Like,
And that dude was like in his late 40s. He was fighting very long.
no, not the dude that whooped her ass.
Oh, so
She didn't fight him. She fought the lightweight. No,
yeah,
that's
like 3 of
that's
them.
the dude right next to you. That's Sexy Young at the top.
Yeah.
Because he just retired.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
she fought the lightweight. She picked the small guy.
Right.
He was like one of the littlest people there.
Exactly.
All right, but this dude is an MMA, is a professional MMA fighter with a pretty decent record.
And a man.
And right, and so it basically.
Because the
Now click down and show her muscles.
Smith
Let's click
rings.
down to the next video. The next image of her.
Right here.
Right here.
Right.
It's right here? Yeah.
And I claimed her many years ago.
You know,
I'm gonna let y'all
This bitch right here, Chung Lee.
many years ago.
All right. She needed to be reminded that she's a woman. And she got reminded that she was a woman in the worst way.
Oh, yeah.
She failed all you feminists. Feminism failed her, and she failed all you feminists. And when this society collapses and fails, all that feminist shit, all that running your mouth, is going to, gender roles are going to come back.
Oh yeah.
Swift, I got a precept to back that up.
Right.
She ain't gonna be getting them testosterone shots no more, man.
Right.
I got a precept to back that up because what they don't understand, the scripture says a man is going to be.
I got it.
Well, she's not going to be in a position where she can go to the gym, work out all day, put on next to nothing, and then parade her body around in front of a whole bunch of men.
Yeah. Shit, that chicken ain't gonna be available, bitch. The eggs, the protein.
Yeah, no, she can get lots of protein.
Oh yeah,
She just said
right.
Go ahead, brother.
This is Isaiah chapter 13. I'll start at 11. It says, "And I will punish the world for their evil and the wicked for their iniquity, and I will cause the arrogancy of the proud to cease, and will lay low the haughtiness of the terrible." And the two most arrogant motherfuckers on the planet Earth is Esau, Edom, and these Babylonian women.
Well, see,
These are the most arrogant ones.
and so that Babylonian mindset. So you got these brothers that are running to go get these bitches from across the planet. But the problem is that Babylon has reached, the shadow of Rome.
Right.
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 That has so that feminism shit that spread, man.
Right.
And it's really messing these women up.
This is Isaiah 32 and 2.
So like, hey, these men, the pass pro bros are taking the. You women are lucky that the pass pro bros are doing that, because really what you're finna face. And you're gonna get, as Elder Malcolm you're gonna be getting your face smushed against the damn the windshield, man. All right, that's what you're gonna be getting. It's gonna be a lot of incels. See, these incels are the problem. You women want to talk shit about the passport bros, but these incels gonna be on your ass. Man.
Literally.
Right.
All these men that got that built up frustration against women. These red pill niggas, their mission is gonna be to humble you.
Yeah.
They're mad because you have power over them, and rightfully so.
Right.
Hey, this Isaiah 13 and 11. I'll get to the point.
Okay.
Salaki, I'll get to the point. 16. Their children also shall be dashed to pieces before their eyes. Their houses shall be spoiled, and their wives ravished. So you got these niggas that you women have labeled incel. Hey, nobody throws out the word incel more than a bitch.
Yeah.
All right. So these niggas you call incels, they see you. They see you with your selfie sticks. They see you doing your TikTok dances in the street. They see all of that, and then they got picked up. Frustration because they ain't there to get that box, and then they gonna have that Melvin spirit on them, man. So this is what you live, Diamond. I fuck you all every day.
I paid a lot of money on you.
I spent a lot of money on you. Liar.
That's one.
Always makes it. Yeah, that's that. No. Oh no, he's that. Oh, the nigga who act like Twan.
That's a nigga Twan.
No, that ain't Twan. Twan, the nigga that the cousin Ebony.
Yeah. What do you say? This is my party.
Right.
Junior.
Yeah.
I'm the one getting married.
I'm the one getting married.
And he went in there and he raped the bitch. Shit. That's what's coming. That's gonna be trending. You know what's gonna be trending? Right? And you ain't gotta worry about great meals already. we got Isaiah 4:1 coming. These niggas, they're gonna be raping the fuck out of you, man. And that's gonna be judgment.
And
The
some
homie
of
proud
some of them
bitches.
gonna be tag teaming you, man.
That's it.
Two
You know,
niggas
matter
all
of
at
fact-
the head, 2 niggas all at the mouth.
Yeah, you gonna have whole crew of cats. Murph told the story about the Edomite that got kidnapped by the 6 niggas.
Oh
And how they was running through it for 3 months.
Shit.
Hey, man, tag me in.
You know?
Yeah, these niggas wicked, man. And I say niggas, I mean people. They wicked. They're gonna rape you. They're gonna gangbang you.
That's it.
All right, which is complete wickedness.
Oh,
But you love to ride the cock carousel. The cock carousel will ride you.
That's right.
All right, you gotta give up to your own devices. Exactly.
Yep.
Hey, Isaiah 32:2 says, "And a man shall be as a hiding place." That's not a normal man. That's the righteous man. That's the man of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. Because the other niggas, they gonna just run through you and throw you out to the garbage.
Or they gonna die trying to protect you like a fool.
Exactly.
That's right.
Exactly. He said, "She'll be a hiding place from the wind and a covert, a covering, a protection."
He gonna lay there bleeding, watching them. All he gonna see is feet and cheeks. Right.
That's right.
And a line of cats waiting their turn
That's right.
as he laying there bleeding out.
That's right. So it said, "A man shall be a hiding place from the wind and a covert from the tempest, as rivers of waters in a dry place, as the shadows of a great rock in a weary land."
Oh, and don't let Esau get his hands on you.
man.
It's gonna get weird.
Because
Put the lotion in the
after
basket.
they rape you, they gonna find all the apparatuses in the house to stick in you too.
Hey, well, that's an
Esau
account.
on some weird shit.
In South Africa, the woman, she told the account of what they did to her family when them troops came in their crib. They killed the husband, chopped his body up. They raped her and the daughter. They raped the wife on top of the dude's chopped up body.
Wow.
Made her suck his chopped up rod, like chopped off rod. All right, she gave the whole account. They
Damn.
raped her and daughter and fucked her on top of the dead husband body, and also made her suck her dead husband's rod.
That's some crazy
Wow.
wicked ass shit. God damn.
We did
Bring it
that.
up.
I got a quick crazy account that I was in a position, when I was 15 years old, locked up in Audi home, man, for some bullshit, right? But that ain't the point. The point is this right here. This is the point right here, man. I was in there with a guy, a brother came in the same night I came into the Audi home down there on Roosevelt, and found out what he was in there for. The dude was in there, man. It was white, 2 white women and a white boy came in west side of Chicago trying to, get some drugs, He said, "Yeah, I sell the drugs. I got him over here." You know what I'm saying? He lured them on, man. Got him in the crib, shot, killed the dude, right? Killed the dude, hung the 2 girls up and raped them. I forgot how long he had to rape, was raping them and stuff, man. Just on GP, man. This guy I was 15 in that. This guy had to be about 15 years old, 16 at the most.
It was under 18.
Yeah.
He piped up.
For those who don't know,
He was a young skeleton.
This was a big 15-year-old. I was big. This guy was a big
Shit, at least
15-year-old. You know what I'm
And he
saying?
hung them and raped the bodies.
Huh?
He hung them and raped the bodies.
He had already killed him.
No. He didn't kill him. I'm sorry.
killed the dude.
I'm sorry. He hung him up, tied him up. He
Oh,
killed the dude.
hog
I don't know how to hog tie people.
And, yeah, raped him. He didn't kill him. He just killed her. He just killed the guy. I'm sorry. And then he just
He hog-tied them bitches.
hog-tied them and raped them at his convenience.
And
In an abandoned building.
Yes.
In an abandoned building. That's right.
Well,
Well, the funny thing about
they
rape,
should have just said no to drugs.
you can't rape a girl. That shit get wet.
Right. See what, Benji?
But I gotta put the video to destruct. I got a quick research because this is the type of man that you bitches are not gonna get. This is Isaiah 40 and 31. But they that wait upon the Lord Yahweh shall renew their strength.
That's
They
right.
shall mount up with wings as eagle. They shall run and not be weary, and they shall walk and not faint. You are not gonna get that type of man with your attitude.
That's right. And you know what too? And not to let these niggas off the hook. A lot of these niggas gonna be getting put to death, and a lot of niggas gonna be getting raped too.
That's
right.
Because you got a bunch of freaks, and you got some homo thugs out there.
Yeah, the sons of Belial out here, man.
Yeah.
They out here,
What was
boy.
that dude they made the character off of?
The booty warriors.
The booty
Booty
warriors.
bang.
And you got the gangbanging ass booty warriors out there too, man.
Man, it's a lot of these.
It's a lot of booty warriors out here.
All right.
Yeah.
So we saw the one nigga knock the nigga out, picked him
Oh,
up
like
by
a
his belt and
suitcase.
carried him away like a suitcase.
Like
Yeah.
a
He
suitcase.
carried him around there,
Yeah.
looking like a suitcase.
Knocked and clean
Hey,
out.
like Capo said, them sons of Belial are out here, man.
Yeah, say out here, boy.
This shit, wow. This why this the best place to be is in the truth.
Let's go.
All right, the best place in the shadow of the Lord, man. The secret place. How about Shani? How was
Yeah, because we about to see and live through some shit, man. If you don't think it's coming, and you think we just talking and we sound like a broken record, good.
Recognize
Right.
it when you see it.
Yeah, because it's just so many things happening into the world. I mean, in the world right now, it's even hard to keep up with this. Go ahead, we gonna wrap it up, brother.
This is 2nd Ezra 6:27. Like one of the scriptures says, for evil shall be put out, and deceit shall be quenched. As for faith, it shall flourish. Corruption shall be overcome, and the truth, which had been so long without fruit,
Come on.
shall be declared.
Right, the truth is being declared, man.
That's
And it's hurting the feelings of a lot of people. And then you know that the scripture that says something to the effect that we would persuade man by fear. All right, so this is a scary thing. These fruitcake killers out there, man. All right, them dudes that want you to put the lotion in the basket, them type cats. All right, hey, so with that, man, we're gonna give all praises, all honor, and glory unto
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rekakadash.
Wow,
Abba.
Can turn those
There's some chicken over there, brothers, y'all. Brothers that came in and didn't eat.
Lips and fingertips.
Like history.
First fingers to the forehead.
Murph History Month. Get that fried chicken.
All right, must be good.
Damn, man, when you talked about them dudes chopping them niggas up, I thought you was talking about General Bud Neck.
I forgot about that nigga shit.
That too.
That
Oh, yeah,
running
General
around.
Right.
Blood naked out here.
Super power.
Niggas out here.
That's what he said. He said he got negative super power. I forgot about that part.
The bullets bounced off up because he was naked.
General, you know this nigga get ready to break.
Niggas gonna be out here in the creek.
Bugging him
He
neck.
went to
Some
the
Doc Martens on the
Man.
creek, man.
I've never seen
In the creek. In Africa, Greek is in the creek.
I don't do that no more.
He's a Christian though.
Yeah, his name Joshua. He got a church. He got a church and everything.
I don't do that.
That nigga really tell, man. He got a church.
No, I believe
He said my daughter don't know who butt naked is. She just knows her father. The pastor. I can't do that no more.
Niggas gonna be out here
That shit crazy.
in the Greek.
Man.
Girl, your daddy, General Butt Naked.